Well, hello again. Last time we left off, if I'm not mistaken, I showed you how to clean some contacts using the old folded paper trick with contact cleaner. There's contacts in this thing. I don't know if I found them all yet. I think I have, but there are some that are hidden. For instance, let me find my pencil. Once again, I'm prepared. That's a set of contacts right there. Right down in there. So let's open this thing up and I'll show you what I'm talking about. See that set of contacts down there at the end of that arm where that round white plastic thing is right there? Between those two arms is a set of contacts. We've got to get up there and clean that. And then we're going to look all over for contacts that may be hidden elsewhere, you know, that don't immediately pop out and hit you. So how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to hold this open with something that won't injure it or break it or whatever. And then I'm going to get down there with the paper the same way and I'm going to clean it. We're going to do whatever we can. We're going to do it the very best we can. That's all we can do. As hobbyists, that's all we can do is the very best we can, okay? We're not professionals. You know, let the professionals do it their way. They know how to do it. We don't. We learn as we go. Well, I think the best way to hold that thing open while I get in there and clean those contacts is to just go ahead and stuff a pair of Lockmeister's old dirty socks in there. By the way, while you're moving this mechanism around, you know, cleaning contacts and looking for more or whatever it is you're doing, you always have to be aware that this reverse switch is down here. And it will break if you're not careful. You got to kind of keep it up off the... It's something I'm constantly watching, and you can bet before it's over I'll probably wind up breaking that thing. Just be careful. Don't break this tab off. It's needed for the motor to reverse direction and come back the other way once we get it all together. And of course there is a set of contacts right in the middle there. See that? Right in the center between those two prongs. And for all I know, there may be one or two more in there. I don't know. I'm going to have to scope it out. Then, of course, we got these to still contend with. I'm going to be here for a couple hours doing this stuff. Now, this set of contacts underneath this turntable down there, they are some really grungy contacts. Let me go ahead and... I don't think I can get to that thing. No, I'm going to have to get to it from the front here. Let's see if I can show you. Look how grungy those things are down there. That is not looking good at all. Really, really bad. I don't think I can go down here any further. Let me try them with my finger. Yeah, I can. Look at there. Can you see how messed up they are? I'm going to have to really work on those. Well, I can tell you that paper with contact cleaner is not going to help me much with that one. What I'm going to have to do is hold it open with my finger a little bit like so. Then I'm going to, because these are slightly burned, I'm going to have to take my brush with lots of contact cleaner while I'm holding open the contacts. I'm not going to hold those contacts open very far, just enough to get my contact soaked brush in there and do some heavy cleaning. That may be about the best we can do. I need to get both sides of the contacts. Remember, when you say contacts, there's an S on the end. There's a contact here, and there's another contact on this part here, down in the one you see. So let's see how much scrubbing I can actually get done without damaging anything. Well, I hate to keep boring you with this, but I want you to see the results of me holding it down with my finger while I brushed it with that brush. Came out a lot cleaner, see there? Now I can go ahead and stick some paper between there and hopefully get the top half just about as clean, but I really gave it a good scrubbing, okay? By golly, I think we got her. That's all I could get. I soaked it really good 2 or 3 times, and that's all I could get from the last cleaning. I think we're going to be good to go on that. Here's our next set of contacts I'll be messing with. They're on the front. Let me back it up and show you. They're right here on the front, down at the lower bottom, below this big stack of them. Now, I haven't done all of these yet. But I kind of eyeballing these, and I said maybe we ought to show folks what we got here. What we have here is this plastic cylinder is connected to this bar. Okay. Now, of course, on the bar is a contact, and that contact makes contact with that one down there. See it, the black one? And then the other side has another set of contact, another contact right there, and then over here we have another contact right there, that bump that makes contact with this one here. So what happens is this one here comes up, it comes up, well, I'm not sure what activates it, but something does. I think it's this, there's a actuator down in here somewhere that causes this thing here to rotate, and then it hits against this right here. And when it hits against this, when it rolls around, it hits against this thing right here, it comes up and hits that plastic bar, and it makes some contacts make contact, and it breaks other contacts. Kind of a deal. There's 3 of them in there. It makes some and breaks some. See there? Watch these in the front that are already touching. See how they separated? See that? Is that cool? Alright. I just want you to know that, you know, contacts are made and broken sometimes by a single lever. Let me go ahead and keep cleaning. One more little hint here while you're cleaning out the contacts. You get this baby down in there, if I can do it again. While you're cleaning out the contacts, if you spray your paper with the contact cleaner, but while you're cleaning it, it might evaporate real quick. All you got to do, don't pull it out and put it back in and risk bending these things, over and over. Just go ahead and give it a little spray. It'll soak down into the paper. Then just keep on cleaning, okay? That's the way to do that. And the same thing for this one and this one. Don't get all in the tither if you run out of contact cleaner. Now there is a set of dirty contacts. Look at that mess. Whew. Look at that. That's why we do these things, okay? That's why you have to take the time. Can you imagine doing all the work, not cleaning these contacts, or missing 1 or 2 because you got in a hurry? Put everything back together, you press the buttons on your jukebox and it screws up. No. Do it right first time. There's an old saying, if you don't have time to do it right the first time, where are you going to have time to do it right the second, or the third, or the fourth? Well, as you can see, all the contacts up here are nice and sparkly clean. Sparkly clean. They are really, really nice. Almost like new. Now we have to move down to the reverse direction switch, I think is what they call it, or the forward reverse switch. This baby here, I showed you already. This thing has some really, really grungy, let me see if I can zero in on there. We've got some really grungy contacts here. Look at that. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's no way paper alone is going to clean those. I'm going to have to first scrub them with this brush very gently, with this acid brush and some contact cleaner. I'm going to have to get in there and clean up as much as I can, and then go ahead and use the paper on the surfaces that make the contact. This whole thing needs to be cleaned up. Wow. Well, so far so good. They cleaned up pretty good with the old scrub brush, but in order to hold them open, I had to take my finger and I stuck it between these 2 fingers right here. Down at the bottom there's a little lever I can press. That actually, it's right in this area right here. There we go. I got my finger on that flat horizontal board and I can push it, and when I do, I can open up the contacts. See them? They open up. Then I can get my brush in there. What we have is 2 sets of contacts, and one way they make contact and the other way they make contact with a down, with one of these little fingers coming down here, right here. There's one here and one here and one here and one here, and that's what gives you your forward and reverse. So let's see what happens when we hit this thing. Now that we got all the dirt off it, we might even be able to see it. See it? She pops over, and when it hits this thing again, it'll pop back. Cool, huh? A little more scrubbing and I'll have that thing righteous. All the contacts are clean, and I think, I'm not sure, I might have found myself another set of contacts down here. I'll have to mess with later on. Look at here. It's making contact with something, I think. I'll have to get up in there and check that out later. But right now, I want to end the video by trying to get maybe some of this dark brown stuff. I don't know if that's rust or what it is. I'm going to try to take a brush, take an old brush with some kind of cleaner and try to get that stuff cleaned up best I can. This is the coupling between the motor. It's a rubber kind of thing, and it connects to the gearbox up here, which eventually drives the entire thing, you know, to include the clutch and all it, and the camshaft. Yes, this does have a camshaft. So I'm going to really scrub this really good. I can spin it around with my finger, get it all the way around. I'll come back to you when I get done. It may look exactly the same when we're through here. Alright, that does look a whole lot better. Apparently some of that brown stuff, or most of it or all of it, was cement that they used to fasten this rubber coupling to the metal on each end. Probably some kind of brown adhesive of some kind. At least that's what I think it was. Anyway, I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and end this video here, and I appreciate everybody watching once again. Next time I think we'll get into the lubrication of this thing. We'll start putting oil and grease, and we'll just make a big mess out of it. What do you say? Until next time, this is John. Well, it turns out there was a little set of contacts underneath that this cover right here. And they made it so all I had to do was take the cover off with one screw. Great for us. I'll go ahead and give them babies a nice scrubbing. See the contacts down in there? Boy, those are nasty, but easy to get to. Piece of cake.